Alright guys, I am here with my review of Victory Road 2012. This show was crazy. Not good crazy. This was pretty bad pay-per-view. To me, it felt like an episode of Impact. Just a crazy bad episode of Impact. There was a lot of stuff I didn't really like here. Even the stuff I looked forward to was disappointing and fell flat of any expectations, and it was really one of the worst pay-per-views I've seen this year. Let's see, Mike TNA and Taz, they opened the show and they're talking about Twitter. They got some things set up where they're going to be reading tweets all night. TNA was Twitter crazy tonight for some reason. Bully Ray comes out, he grabs a microphone, the fans chant "We want Devon." Bully says he's trending worldwide because he's taken the pay-per-view hostage. He wants a match against James Storm tonight. Well, he's got the match, but he wants the match to be for the #1 contendership at Lockdown. He says he's not leaving no matter who comes out. James Storm comes out, says Bully didn't have to waste the people's time. He will grant him a shot at the #1 contendership right now. Storm versus Bully Ray starts. Ray goes for the beer on the steps. He knocks it over. He picks it up and he drinks it. And he turns around and gets hit with the last call super kick. And James Storm gets the win. This match lasted like 2 minutes maybe. Really bad way to open the show. I know a lot of people were looking forward to this match, myself included. I thought this would have been one of the better ones on the show, and it got all of 2 minutes. I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking. Just a bad idea all around. Austin Aries is backstage with Jeremy Borash. Borash is reading questions off of Twitter to all the guests he has backstage during the course of the show. Eric Bischoff comes up and insults him and his interview skills. Maybe they're trying to play that whole Twitter thing up into an angle where Bischoff insulted Jeremy Borash or something. Who knows? Eric says he can kick his ass and takes over the interview. He puts over Austin Aries and he acts like he's all excited to be talking to him. Aries says he doesn't have to be the last match to be the main event, since every time he steps in the ring he's the main event. We have Zema Ion versus Austin Aries for the X Division title. This was okay. Probably the best match on the show, but the show wasn't very good, so it's not saying much. Even this match, I thought they could have done a lot more with and could have been better. They did this spot where Austin Aries chases Zema. He runs to the turnbuckle, he jumps up, and Aries gets there and he misses him. They repeated this spot multiple times. And then finally Aries grabs the hairspray. Zema runs over. He still does the spot even though there's no one chasing him. Aries grabs the hairspray and he tries to do the thing where he sits on the top rope, and he even slipped doing that. He finally got up there and he acts like he's using the hairspray. Zema falls off the top rope to the floor. Aries pushes him, and then Aries goes and gets his phone and he tweets during the match. Zema hits the moonsault to the outside that he did to Jesse Sorensen, and Aries sells it like he's knocked unconscious. Zema tries a pendulum elbow but misses. He puts the spray can in his trunks. Zema goes to get the title, but the referee grabs it from him, so the ref's distracted. Aries runs from behind. Zema sprays him in the eyes. And he goes for a roll-up, but he can't keep Austin Aries down no matter what he does. Austin Aries hits a brainbuster in the last chancery, and Zema Ion taps out. The match was pretty good, but like I said, I thought it could have been a lot better. They do a promo video for the Motor City Machine Guns. It says "coming soon." Recap: Samoa Joe, Magnus winning the titles. Morgan and Crimson arguing. Samoa Joe and Magnus versus Crimson and Matt Morgan for the tag titles. I noticed that Morgan and Crimson get pyro, but the champions don't. Samoa Joe has a mohawk now. The fans chant for Matt Morgan, but Crimson tags himself in and refuses to tag Morgan in for the majority of the match. Finally, Matt Morgan tags himself in. He cleans house, but then Crimson tags himself back in. Then they have this kind of tagging each other back in war. Morgan finally gets the last tag, and Crimson walks out. He says he's the winner of the team. Morgan clearly says, "Fuck you," and then gives him the finger. Crimson gets back in the ring, spears Matt Morgan. Samoa Joe and Magnus hit the snapmare into the elbow for the win. I thought this was pretty well done, but like I said earlier, it felt like an episode of Impact. Jeremy Borash is backstage. He says he apologizes for Eric Bischoff's behavior, but what can he say that hasn't been said about him the past 20 years? Thought that was a good line. He asked Bobby Roode a question from Twitter, and he says, "You ask me a Twitter question? Well, here's a Twitter answer." And Roode says that tonight the games are over, and he's going to end Sting's career. James Storm has never beat him one-on-one, and Storm walks up to him. Storm says at Lockdown he's not looking for a match, he's looking for a fight, and he wants it right now, and Bobby Roode walks off. Then we have Robbie E and Robbie T come out. Robbie E says that due to every wrestler already having a match, the open challenge won't happen. Fans chant RVD. He opens the challenge to any fan in the Impact Zone. He asks SoCal Val, but says they will wrestle later in his hotel room. Says no one deserves a shot and cancels the challenge. They decide to pose in the middle of the ring. This was a lot of time these guys took up just dicking around out here. Devon comes out. The referee says that you made the challenge, so the match is happening. Ring the bell. We get Devon versus Robbie E for the TV title. Robbie E goes for a chair, and Brooke Hogan is at ringside. I had no idea. I couldn't even tell until the announcers said it. She tries to grab the chair from him. Devon wins with a one-handed slam, kind of David Otunga's move, and he becomes the new TV champion. Devon wins. Jeremy Borash with Dixie Carter backstage. Dixie says that it's almost TNA's 10th anniversary, and Slammiversary will be in a new town they've never run before in Texas. Borash asks her thoughts on the Sting Roode angle and match, and she says she trusts Sting and she will be at ringside. Roode has disrespected everyone, and she hopes it ends tonight. Recap of Madison Rayne and Gail Kim. We get Madison Rayne versus Gail Kim for the Knockouts title. They hug at the beginning, but then they start shoving each other and pulling hair. The announcers, Mike Tenay and Taz, are bored to death. They are just making jokes. There's moments of silence where no one says anything. Just really bad. Just amateur shit here tonight. The match wasn't that bad, but the announcers were completely bored. Gail wins with defeat. Borash is asking Kazarian about him becoming more aggressive lately, and Christopher Daniels says that he's running the show, and Anderson got into something that doesn't concern him. It's between Kazarian, Daniels, and AJ, and they're both going to pay tonight. So we get the tag match, AJ Styles and Mr. Anderson versus Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. I thought this was okay. AJ tags himself in and counters the fade to black from Kazarian, hits the Styles Clash and gets the win. I thought this was okay, but I didn't think it had enough build. It didn't really make sense for Anderson to be involved. He just kind of was. He really had no reason to be out there as far as the angle goes. Borash with Kurt Angle. Kurt says that he says hi to his son Cody and tells him he normally doesn't want him to watch violence on TV, but tonight he wants him to watch him destroy his hero, Jeff Hardy. He says he's going to rip his hair out and do reconstruction on his face, and he's going to give him a complete Kurt Angle makeover. They recap the angle with Kurt's saying Jeff Hardy looks more like a woman than a man, and says he's not jealous, he just hates Jeff Hardy. I thought this was awesome. We have the match, Jeff Hardy versus Kurt Angle. Started off pretty bad and sloppy. It got better as it went on, but it started off pretty bad, I thought. A lot of near falls, though, towards the end. Kurt Angle counters a swanton, gets the knees up, hits the Olympic slam, but Jeff Hardy kicks out of it. Angle's head starts to bleed a little bit. Hardy hits a swanton, but Angle reverses it. He gets the move hit on him, but then he gets a roll-up. and he holds the ropes and he gets the win. The referee, I guess, was trying not to look over there, but Jeff Hardy damn near fell on the guy, so it kind of came off as bad. But Kurt Angle did get the win. The Swanton looked nasty as hell. It looked like Kurt Angle was maybe a little too far from the ropes, so it looked like Jeff just landed directly onto him. Then Kurt, he's walking out and he tells the cameraman, "You see that, Cody? Daddy won. Daddy's the best." We have Borash with Sting backstage. Sting says he's tired of talking, twittering, and Facebooking. It's time to wrestle, and he feels like a wrestler. They recap the angle. Sting comes out. He's got his old school jacket on. Half his face is painted like the Crow. The other half's painted like the Joker. He said on Impact he was going to use every phase of his career, and he came out looking like that. Sting versus Bobby Roode, no holds barred. They did brawl around for a little bit in the beginning, but most of the match took place in the ring. Roode goes and gets a chair and sets it up in the ring. He goes for a pile driver, but Sting gets out of it, reverses it, and hits a Scorpion Death Drop. But as he lands, the back of Sting's head hits the chair. Sting gets knocked out. Roode covers him and gets the win. Roode goes and gets a chair right in front of Dixie Carter, and he puts it in the ring. And then he goes and gets Dixie Carter and puts her in the ring. The fans start chanting Hogan. You hear Bobby Roode say, "Shut your mouth, bitch," to her. Sting gets up and attacks Roode, tosses him out, but Roode sneaks back in while Sting's back is turned and hits him in the back with a chair. He duct tapes Sting's wrist to the ropes. He's laid out, he's in the bottom corner, and he duct tapes his wrist to the ropes, and Dixie is freaking out. This was just ridiculous. She sits in front of Sting so Bobby Roode won't hit him in the head with a chair. He starts yelling at Dixie. She's hysterical, and he says, "You didn't like me," or "You don't like me," or something. And it was just crazy. I mean, every week we have Al Snow and D'Lo Brown come out to break up all types of crazy random fights. And we have James Storm and Hulk Hogan somewhere. And no one, not even Garrett Bischoff, came to help Dixie Carter. It just looked really stupid and bad. It was horrible. Why even do this type of shit? I mean, I don't think anybody really cared that much, and to be honest, probably not a lot of people will even see it, because who would have bought this pay-per-view? If I would have paid money for this thing, oh my god, I would feel so cheated. But anyways, that was the pay-per-view for Victory Road. I hope you guys liked the review. I'm going to be back tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw, so I hope you guys check that out. And that's it. There's really nothing else to say about this show. So, thanks for watching. Bye.